What's going on, guys? Today is Saturday, December 28th, 2018. The last Saturday of the year. Just wanted to come to you guys before the year is out and say I know I've been gone for a while, but with good reason. And right now I am actually headed out to my second job. So I'm going to take you guys with me. Let me go ahead and get in the car and get you popped up on the dashboard, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so we just got in the car. Just gonna talk to you guys while I drive for a little bit. I am hands free and about to head out. I gotta make a couple stops before I get to my job. So just in the meantime, if this thing will focus. There we go. In the meantime, I'm just gonna talk to you guys for a little bit. So, what has been going on with me for the last 6 months or so? Alright, so if you guys watched my last video, which came out sometime in July, then you know that I just moved. Well, at that time I had just moved, so I've been in my new place for about 6 months now. Just trying to center myself in the frame a little bit better. So I've been in my new place for about 6 months. But a couple weeks before I moved, I interviewed and was hired for the job that I'm going to today. I do still have my other job as a dispatcher, and I don't plan on leaving that anytime soon. But this job is actually at the Fiserv Forum. Anybody that watches basketball knows that is the new arena here in Milwaukee that the Milwaukee Bucks play at. So I am a bartender down there, and shortly after, actually during my move, I was working at Summerfest, bartender down there. So after that 11-day run, I went right into training for this job. And anybody that works in a sports and entertainment venue know that as the basketball season ramps up, or the football season, whatever the sport might be, you get really busy. You start off really slow, then you get really busy. In the month of September, we had probably 3 or 4 concerts, plus an exhibition game and a couple open houses. All because the arena was new, so it was a lot more going on than what normally goes on in September. And then October was even crazier. So it was the opening of the season, 2 preseason games, and I think for about a week and a half straight, we had a concert every single night. Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, 21 Pilots. I can't even remember everybody that has been there. Justin Timberlake was here in September. Chris Young, whoever he is, they had bull riding, all type of stuff has been down there. And now the last month or so, we've been a little bit slower, because during the holidays, most of the teams are on the road, so we really haven't had a whole lot of events, especially this last week or so. Also at the arena, we have Marquette University men's basketball is down there, so we work those games too. So outside of that, I just been working both jobs, and it's just been really exhausting. But before I moved, I did a video about me going to physical therapy. If you remember, I think it was that video or the video before, I talked about how I pretty much let go of my whole medical team. So my previous primary doctor had me set up with a pain management specialist. I was seeing them 3 times a year. I was seeing him 4 times a year. I had a nephrologist. The urologist deals with the urinary system. The nephrologist deals with the kidney. So I had a kidney doctor. And I had a couple different physical therapists, all through that same health group. So the only person I didn't replace was my nephrologist, because my nephrologist has been much more helpful than my primary doctor, my previous primary doctor. So the previous primary doctor, every time I went in, he was saying something, this was wrong, that was wrong, that was wrong. So he kept trying to find different things to keep me coming back to him. Where the nephrologist was like, okay, so last year your numbers was here, or last visit your number was here. This visit your numbers have improved this much. So I don't need to see you for 6 months to a year. So I started seeing him back in November of 2015. And I had a 6-month follow-up, and then since then I've only had to see him once a year. So that's why I kept him. But the primary doctor, in addition to always trying to find something new to have me come in for, his medical staff was just not the best. So it was just time for me to go ahead and get somebody new. You know, every time I turned around, it was canceling appointments. And then when I called, I tried to find out what was going on. They want to lie and said, we didn't cancel your appointment, you canceled the appointment. And that wasn't the case. So earlier this year, what the straw that broke the camel's back was I actually did need to cancel the appointment, because the appointment, and I told them when I made the appointment originally, I said, I may have to cancel this appointment or reschedule this appointment because I think I might have to work that day at that time. And they was like, okay, cool. So then when I got my schedule and I saw that I did have to work, I was like, okay, so let me reschedule the appointment. They wouldn't let me reschedule it. So I'm like, this is crazy. How y'all can cancel my appointment anytime, but y'all won't let me reschedule it when I need to. I emailed a couple different people in the medical system, and they wouldn't get back to me. So I just picked up the phone and scheduled another appointment for that same week with a new doctor at a different medical healthcare system. So I've been over there since April at the new system, and that doctor has been phenomenal. You know, he's a much younger doctor, so he listens to me and he hears what I'm saying, but then he looks at me as if I might be making the things up. That's what kind of threw up a red flag in the beginning for me. But what made him good is that he didn't just go off his own opinions or what I thought his opinions were based on his facial expressions. He went ahead and he scheduled me to go to a physical therapist. You know, I walked in and told him the problems I've been having with my knees and how long it has been going on. And he was like, okay, well, before we rule anything else, before we try to do anything else, any surgery, knee replacements, anything like that, we're gonna send you to a physical therapist to see what they can do. Okay, cool. I wanted to tell him, well, I've been to 2 physical therapists already and nothing has improved, but I was like, okay, let me just go see what this man's talking about. So I go to the physical therapist, and immediately within the first visit, the physical therapist was like, okay, this is your problem. Your LT bands are too tight. And in the video, a couple videos ago, I talked about LT bands and what they are and how they function. But if you haven't watched that video, the LT band is what controls your kneecap, and it runs up your thigh, from your thigh to your hip. And when those bands are too tight, it can present as either knee pain or hip pain. And so in my case, it was presented as knee pain. So as soon as he saw that, he every session I would come in, he would massage my thighs, my LT bands, and try to loosen them up. And then he gave me a series of stretches, both laying down and standing up, as well as sitting in a chair, to stretch them out, and that has helped tremendously. So I began to feel relief just on the first day alone. Since then, I finished all my sessions in physical therapy, and now I am pretty much doing the exercises at home on my own, and I can tell from listening to my body when there's a problem and when I need to focus on doing those stretches more. For instance, just a couple weeks ago, my back has been bothering me for quite some while. I know there's a knot in my back that I need to go to a massage therapist to have worked out. However, with my body is a little bit weird, I guess you could say, because my pelvis is not pointed in the right direction, is what the physical therapist was telling me. So I have to focus on tilting my pelvis forward, otherwise I'll have lower back pain. So a couple weeks ago I was having lower back pain, and because I had lost focus on that pelvis tilt, which is really hard to do. If you're not used to doing it, it's really hard to stay focused on that. At least it is for me. So what I noticed is that the more I ignored the lower back pain, the more it started to affect my hip, and that also let me know that I wasn't doing my stretches enough. So I started doing my stretches more, and but at that particular moment, it had gotten so bad that I couldn't even make a full lap around the concourse at my job. So it was really hard, but I listened to my body. I went home and I did my stretches and got through it, and now I'm not in as much pain. The knot is still in my lower back, so I'm working on trying to get that out. I have a foam roller that I use a lot of times to work on things like that. And then outside of that, you know, if I feel like I need to take a night off, I take a night off. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on with me for the last 6 months. Just working and taking care of some things, getting some things set up, so that I don't have to work so hard next year. Didn't intend for this segment of this video or this video period to be this long. I was going to do some other things in this video, but since I'm already at 10 minutes alone on this one video, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for now. I'm almost at my first errand, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for now, and then I'll come back in a different video for the rest of what I'm doing this last weekend of 2018. Before I go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to know when I upload a new video. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them down below or hit me up on my email, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, I love you guys, I miss you, and you will see more videos from me in the future. Until then, good night.